Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Coming to you live from Swansea today. So just having a few days away. I'm hoping that this video is going to be good quality enough to add to YouTube this week, okay? But either way, I'm coming to you live today in the group to address some of the points from the lovely comments that were left on the video, okay? So I've obviously, as you know, I do many lives, and I've done many lives here in the group, okay? But the live that I'm talking about is the one which most people have seen now, okay? And it was the one that I got uploaded to YouTube and kind of kicked off my brand new YouTube channel, okay? Most of what you've been told about the menopause is wrong, okay? So that's the video I'm talking about. So yes, lovely comments left on the video, and there was a few points in the comments that I wanted to address, and this is the promised video for addressing the points, okay? So here we go. So I'm not going to repeat too much of what was said in the video itself, okay? That's one thing I'm conscious of, is that I don't want to repeat myself all the time in all the videos, so that obviously it's fresh and new for you every time, okay? So one of the comments that was left on the video was talking about an experience of not getting on very well with HRT, and then also like what's happened since you've stopped taking HRT, okay? So the one thing I will say about HRT, okay, let's talk about that for a sec, okay? Because obviously a lot of women think it's the only option available, and you know, some women will need to go on it for various reasons, okay? But it's a very small percentage of women, because from the Chinese perspective, we're looking at this completely holistically, okay? So we use this analogy, we use many analogies, and I like to use many analogies when I'm talking about this as well, okay? But one of the analogies that we use in Chinese medicine is like the ben and the biao. These are Chinese words for the root and the branch. And so the root is, if you think of a tree, we're addressing the roots of the tree, whereas the branches is the symptoms, okay? And the leaves on the branches is the presentation of the symptoms. And so a lot of Western, you know, hello Tina Harvey, how you doing? Oh, I've got to get back to you on a private message. Sorry, I completely forgot about that. So yeah, I'll get back to you today. When we look at the leaves, okay, they're just the symptoms. And so when I think about hormones, when I look at the extensive Chinese medicine training I've received and how little hormones are actually mentioned in the Chinese medicine approach, because the hormones themselves are like leaves on the trees. They're an effect, not a cause. Okay, so the causes are the root causes. That's what we're addressing here. Okay, so we're more interested in the root cause and balancing at the level of the root. Okay, so the root cause of a menopause symptom might be one of your organs is out of balance, okay? So that hence why I created the quiz, so that you can find out which of your organs it is, okay? But also another kind of root cause could be a life situation, a chronic life situation that's causing, so like a chronic life situation that's out of balance or out of alignment, which is causing a chronic you know, thought or emotion in your system, which then is chronically weakening a particular organ, okay? So if you've got a life situation that's causing you chronic fear, it's going to have an ongoing impact on your kidneys, okay, and cause the kidneys to go out of alignment in that way. If you've got a life situation that's out of alignment and it's causing you chronic frustration, it's going to have an impact on your liver, okay? Tina Harvey, Rachel Roberts. Yeah, is Rachel included in this group? If she's not in the group, either invite her into the group and then you can accept her request to join, or send her the link, okay? So because we're live now, you can literally just add her to the group. I give you permission to include her into the group, okay? And then once I've finished recording this, in a day or so, we'll upload this to YouTube, and then we can all share it on our Facebook pages as well. All right, guys? So yeah, so the life situations being out of alignment, okay? So this is what like the overall kind of bigger picture of menopause is it's an invitation to stop, to pause, to readdress our lives, and to see where our lives are out of alignment, and where the way that we're living is no longer sustainable, and those are the changes that need to be made, okay? So for some, it's strengthening boundaries, because people pleasing and over giving all the time is actually causing your spleen to become chronically weakened. And you know, so it's individual for each person. There is no one size fits all. So when we identify which organ it is that's struggling, we can then peel back the layers even further and discover what it is in us that's causing this chronic, almost like an attack on the organ, okay? Is it a life situation that's out of alignment? Is it a relationship? Is it overworking, overgiving, overdoing? And then the kind of global solution for all of that is to be more yin, okay? And then also, once we know the organ, we can also take physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual steps to rebalance our particular organ, okay? And then it's like a domino effect. That organ that needs the most support right now, when it gets the right support, that's the first domino. And then as the dominoes fall, they fall differently from that root cause, okay? So all of that to say that when we take HRT, we're only playing with the leaves. We're literally rearranging the leaves on the trees, and we're not addressing the roots. And so when we first take the medication, it seems as if the symptoms disappear. They're only being masked. They may even be being suppressed further into the system, okay? And on a kind of holistic, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level, there's a transformation trying to take place, okay? It's called the change, okay? It's one of the biggest transformational gateways of our life. And when we take medication that suppresses, not only does it suppress the ailments we don't want, but it also suppresses the transformation that's trying to take place. So instead of going through the transformational gateway and becoming the wise woman on the other side, we don't go through the transformation. So the whole process is basically just stopped, okay? Which is quite unnatural and not good for our long-term mental health or physical health as well, okay? So going back to the comments from the original video, there was a lady who kindly left some feedback about her experience, okay, and how that since she started taking HRT, it actually resulted in tinnitus, okay, tinnitus, which wasn't there before, okay. And one of the reasons that can happen is because the tinnitus is linked with the kidneys, okay. It's all about the yin and yang balance. And so depending on whether the ringing in the ears is high or low pitched will depend on whether it's kidney yin or kidney yang is out of balance, okay? Now the kidneys are at the root of yin and yang. So normally if you've got an imbalance of one, you've typically got an imbalance of the other as well, okay? So we can say that it's kidney yin and yang. So the ultimate solution there is to look at the kidneys and to give the kidneys the support that they need on these physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual levels, okay? Which is something that my kidney solution I've created actually does begin to address, okay? It's a journey. It's, you know, we're taking a different path here. This is a way of life, okay? So being more yin is a way of life. And then living in a way that supports your kidneys is also a journey that you're going on. It's a healing journey. So it's not a quick fix, although I have seen very quick wins when people start taking the correct steps to rebalance the organs. Okay, so that is what I want to say about the tinnitus, okay? So regardless of why it came about, it can be healed when we address the correct root level of the problem, okay? And then if we're looking at it from a physical, mental, emotional and spiritual perspective as well, we can look at, okay, on the physical level, let's say more commonly than not, you get high-pitched ringing in the ears, okay? So the high-pitched ringing is caused by kidney yin deficiency. So kidney yin is deficient, and remember that the yin is the cooling body fluids, so the yang becomes excessive. So not only have you got not enough cooling fluids, but you've also got excessive heat and dryness, okay? And each organ has its own particular yin and yang balance, okay? But in this case, if the kidney yin is deficient, then you've got an excess of yang, which is causing heat and also high-pitched ringing, okay? So if we're looking at this on a physical level, we can say what in my physical life or physical day-to-day kind of habits, my food, my drink intake, what there could be contributing to kidney yin deficiency, okay? So what can contribute to kidney yin deficiency? Heating substances, okay? Heating substances like caffeine, coffee, tea, excessive, okay? Now there are benefits, there are huge benefits to tea and coffee, okay? So I'm not saying don't drink them at all, but if you've got an issue like tinnitus or like insomnia or something like this, it might be an idea to just cut it out for a short time, just to help your organ get back to its original baseline. And then once it's at its normal, like factory default settings, once you're back to factory settings, you can then start to reintroduce those substances in small amounts because of their benefits, okay? So there's an old Chinese saying that says that you should go, that it'd be preferable to go a few days without food rather than one day without tea, okay? Because tea has got so many benefits. And then obviously different types of tea have different benefits, okay? So black tea is the preferred tea for myself anyway, and it's not got as many benefits as some of the other teas, okay? And then again, it depends on the quality of the tea. So if you're drinking like PG Tips, for example, or you've bought some specialist, you know, like really organic high-end brand of black tea, and you're steeping it deliciously and, you know, you're drinking it with intention, it's going to have a completely different effect than if you're just drinking PG Tips, okay? So thinking about, there's always many layers and levels to things, okay? And so I love the saying, it's not what we do, it's who we're being when we do it, okay? So we can say, oh, I'm doing all the right things, I'm doing all these things, but if we're, as I've said in other videos, if we're doing them from masculine energy, they're not going to have, some of them won't even work. If we're trying to do a feminine energy healing practice from masculine energy, it's not going to work. But also, you know, it's the intention behind what we're doing, okay? So we can do it with intention and get a different result. And we can take what might be deemed as an unhealthy thing, but done in a very high quality way, it's not unhealthy, okay? Hope that makes sense, okay? So things like caffeine and alcohol will impact the yin deficiency of the kidney. And then also foods, okay? So let food be thy medicine. There's certain foods you can eat that will increase your kidney yin, specifically your kidney yin, okay? And then just as a kind of, you know, a little tip I can give you here today, without going into it in too much detail, but kidney foods are generally black or kidney shaped, okay? Or naturally occurring salty foods like seaweed, foods that are found, you know, naturally salty, okay? So again, in the West, there's this idea that salt is bad for you or too much salt is bad for you, okay? But it's what salt? It's processed salt, okay? Processed salt is bad for you, but naturally occurring salt like Celtic sea salt and Himalayan salt and, you know, the salt that's naturally in salty foods like seaweed, okay, is beneficial for your health. And if we're going around trying to eliminate all of our salt, but we're not taking in our good salts, then actually the kidneys, it's the salty flavour that heals the kidneys and helps to rebalance the kidneys. The kidneys will go out of balance if we're not taking in enough salt, okay? So black foods like black beans and black lentils and black grapes, okay? And then kidney-shaped foods like kidney beans, and then naturally occurring salty foods, and you can also eat actual kidneys, okay, to get the benefits as well. Again, you want to go for more like organic, grass-fed sources to get the best quality. So those are on a physical level, okay? Then we can think about being more yin. And so there's different types of rest we need. So it's not enough to just say, I'm just going to rest more, okay? What kind of rest? There's different types of rest we need. So there's physical rest that we need. So that's like you getting your sleep at night. And the Chinese do recommend that we lie down for at least 10 minutes a day to help our yin and our yang to recalibrate. So you physically lie down for 10 minutes during the day and you get good quality sleep at night. That's physical rest, okay? But there's also spiritual rest, and there's also creative rest, and there's also social rest, and there's also things like digital detoxes and using more like natural lighting. So especially during the winter, say you have like an evening in, take a bath, fill it with bath salts, and use candles rather than like harsh strip lighting or something like this, okay? So there's all of these different levels to every single thing that we can think about, okay? And ultimately, it's all about being the most natural, okay? So we talk about salt, the naturally occurring salts. We talk about the light. It's the natural lighting, the natural soft lighting, okay? And it's like during the winter season, which is the kidney season, it's doing the things that the kidneys actually want you to be doing. So it's following your intuition and doing more of the restful, more of the introspective, more of the almost like hibernation type activities, okay? So what else? Being more yin, okay? The ultimate Be More Yin is the meditation technique that I practice and teach, okay? I've spoken to quite a few people on consultations this week, and obviously everybody wants to know, how do you do it? How do you be more yin, okay? Because once you've mastered this consciousness, it's a consciousness is what it is, okay? About being more yin, once you've mastered how to be more yin, you can do it all the time, in every situation. I'm doing it now as I'm talking to you, okay? It's a way of being, it's an awareness, and it's a consciousness that's like a switch. It's on, okay? And that switch is either on or off. So how do you switch the switch on? That's what I teach, okay, guys? So I welcome you to come, and even if you just want to do one session with me, okay? You can book a one-off, up to 90 minutes, right? So we say the session's up to 90 minutes. You don't have to sit there for the whole 90 minutes. If we're complete within 50 minutes, then we're complete. But ultimately, I invite you to come and book a session with me for up to 90 minutes to discuss whatever you uniquely need. And I can teach you this Be More Yin practice, okay? And obviously, ongoing sessions together, we can master it and we can practice it together, and I can teach you the subtle nuances as time goes on. But if you just want to initially know, how do I actually do this, or how do I actually be this, then I can teach you, okay? So I would invite you to come and do a session, and alongside it, you can be doing your own plan for your own organ, would be my highest recommendation. And at the moment, still, when you buy the organ solutions, you get a year in my membership, okay? A year in my membership where I answer your questions every week, and I add monthly workshops for all of the organs. We do the seasonal living as well. So we go through each season for each organ as it's happening live, and do all the master classes and all the exercises and all of the cool things, okay? So like on a physical level, we just did the liver detox. That was physical. We also did mental detox, emotional detox, spiritual detox. And then the superpower of that organ, the visioning, the planning, we did vision board workshops, okay? It's all in there. And then you get the replays for all the previous ones as well when you join. And you get all that just for purchasing your own organ solution, okay? And then, like I say, I invite you to come and do some one-to-one with me to really nail it, okay? What else do I want to say about tinnitus? Okay, so for tinnitus as well, okay, I've got a acupressure routines for menopause symptoms. It's an ebook which costs £8, and there's a little video series that goes with that, okay? I'm adding tinnitus as an acupressure routine into the acupressure routines for menopause symptoms. And by request, I'm adding hay fever, okay? Hay fever is not typically a menopausal symptom, but at the end of the day, I don't really think, okay, not I don't think, I do think that any of these symptoms that show up around menopause time are simply showing up to highlight which organs are out of balance and because the body's run down, okay? Your body is completely and totally and utterly exhausted. And so it can't manage in the same way it would with abundant energy. And so it flags up symptoms, okay? And hay fever might be one of those symptoms. So it's not typically linked to the menopause, but anything that's going on around menopause time is really a response to stress and exhaustion, in my opinion, okay? So we need to be more yin in order to fill up the batteries and then reduce the stress, clear the stress from the nervous system, okay? And then rebalance the organ at the root. That's the solution. There is no other way. There really is no other way. And so I'm adding hay fever routines to that group, okay? So you can, if you want to, just do the acupressure routines for menopause symptoms, okay? However, if you purchase your organ solution, you'll get it as part of your membership. All right, guys, you get it all included, okay? So let's look at the tinnitus now from a mental and emotional level, okay? So 90% of the time, there's an emotional or mind-based cause for a symptom, okay? It's largely to do with the mind-body connection, okay? You think a thought, your body reacts. We all know that this is true. You could visualize eating a lemon right now, okay? Literally close your eyes and visualize taking a sharp knife to a fresh lemon, cutting it on the cutting board. The lemon juice bursts out of the lemon, and then you squeeze it into your mouth and you taste that sour, fresh, potent lemon juice. What happens? Your mouth begins to water because of the mind-body connection, okay? So if we've got a chronic and repetitive thought or emotion happening, the body is going to flag it up and say, over here, this is where we need support, okay? And so there's a mind and emotional based causes for tinnitus, okay? Which I would invite you to consider as well, okay? And contemplate. You can contemplate this for yourself by taking a journal and asking yourself the question, okay? And asking yourself the question repeatedly. So you don't just take the first answer as the answer. You keep going with the question. And you say, what is causing my tinnitus? What is causing my tinnitus? Okay. Also, my mistake, I would invite you to call it the tinnitus, not my tinnitus. Because if you call it my tinnitus, you're identifying with it. And you're making it part of who you are. You're making it your identity. And we don't want to do that. Okay, guys? It's just like weather, it's just passing through. There is tinnitus present, it is simply passing through. It's the tinnitus, not my tinnitus, okay? So rephrase that question. What is the cause of the tinnitus that I'm experiencing currently? What is the cause? What is the cause? Okay, I don't know. If I knew what is the cause, if I did know what is it, oh, okay, well, it's this, okay, so I'll tell you one of the mind-based causes, because then I think it's good to try and investigate it for yourself first, okay, through your journaling, through your contemplation, through your self-awareness. But then also you can look in the directory and find out what the commonly held mind and emotional based causes for these things are, okay? So one of them is resistance to what you're hearing. Resistance to what you're saying to yourself or what you're hearing, okay? So if you're a therapist and you're hearing a lot of people's trauma, I would invite you to clear yourself, okay? Thoroughly clear your energetic field after a day's work and help to separate you from what you're hearing, okay? Because there could be resistance to what I'm hearing, okay? And then it also makes being silent with yourself very difficult when you've got this ringing in your ears, okay? So there becomes this resistance to silence as well as sound, okay? And so you just end up living in a place of chronic resistance. So we've got to identify where this resistance is coming from. What's the source of this resistance? That could be a good question for your journaling. What is the source of this resistance? 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 And just keep going and going and going until you get it. And you're going to know when you've got it. It's going to click and you're going to be like, that is it. That's the source of this resistance. And then you can work on adjusting your life so that the cause is no longer a cause. Okay? And if you can't adjust it out of your life, you can then go about healing your relationship towards it. And again, guys, these are all things I can help you with. Okay? So, what else do I want to tell you about tinnitus? Yeah, when you want to be more yin and you want to be in the silence and you want to, you know, go within and you've got the ring in there, which is causing resistance, lean into it, because otherwise you're going to end up resisting the sound as much as the resistance in your life may drop. You're then going to end up resisting the sound. Okay, so lean into it, soften, open, and allow the sound. Just unconditionally allow it. Again, it's the only way. What we resist persists, and what we allow, we can surrender and heal fully. And there'll be a gift in it, okay? So another journaling exercise, what's the gift? What's the gift? And just talk to the tinnitus and say, I'm ready to receive the gift. It's safe to let this go now. I'm ready to receive the gift. Okay? And there's more and deeper layers to that I can take you through if you so desire. Okay? So that's quite an in-depth exploration of tinnitus there. What else do I want to say? Yes, there's patches, okay? Acupuncture patches that you can wear. I would recommend these patches highly, especially to people who are not in my local vicinity, and also people who have been working with me locally, because I've changed my business model now so that I'm mostly online. Okay, so this is a way that you can be getting daily acupuncture treatment, and you just self-apply the patches on the acupuncture points. Okay, it's literally there's different patches for different purposes. Okay, so I would recommend you your own unique personalized protocol. It might be 2 or it might be up to 3 different patches that I would recommend for you, and you literally wear like 1 patch a day for each purpose, right? So what are the purposes? Stem cell rejuvenation and activation is one of the purposes. So you literally wear 1 patch, 1 stem cell patch a day for 12 hours, and then at the end of the day, or you could wear them at night when you're sleeping, you just take them off and put them in the bin and put a fresh one on the next day. And that's as simple as that. It's 1 patch for stem cell activation each day. And we recommend you wear a month of patches for every decade you've been alive. So if it's 50 years, it's 5 months of patches, okay? Completely rejuvenate and reactivate your stem cell production. Reverse aging. That in itself can eliminate a lot of ailments, okay? And rejuvenate the body. And then you might be recommended a hormone. There are hormone patches, okay? There's not hormones in the patches. They just help by stimulating the acupuncture points that are related to the organs that actually produce the hormones, so that you get a more balanced organ producing a more balanced organ hormone output, okay? Nothing on the patches themselves except crystals, okay? It's just crystals, sugar and water. You put the patches on the acupuncture point, and where you emit light from the skin, it just basically gets reflected back in when you've got the patch on, and then the light goes back in through the acupuncture point and recirculates through the acupuncture system. So your own energy starts to compound on itself rather than being kind of like emitted. Okay, so then you may be recommended like a nervous system patch, okay, and this will really help you with embodying more yin, because if your nervous system is struggling, is overstimulated and can't regulate, then these patches will help to regulate your nervous system throughout the day, okay, ease stress, and you'll be in a calmer, more receptive state and then you'll be way easier able to tap into the yin energy and to remain there, okay, which is then also going to have a good knock-on effect for a good night's sleep. And there are insomnia patches as well. All right, guys. So yes, I would highly recommend those to everyone. Again, message me if you're interested in finding out more about these. I'm going to put the link to my new link tree in the comments to this video, okay, and in my bio as well. So you can check out my new link tree and have a little mosey around in there and see if there's anything in there that, you know, catches your eye. But you've also got the patches are in there, okay? So you can have a little look yourself, okay? The other thing I wanted to address was energy. Okay, energy itself could be a whole other video. So why don't we do another video on energy maybe next week? There are energy enhancer patches as well that you can wear. And I have been informed that the energy enhancer patches actually help you lose weight. Okay, haven't tried those ones myself yet because my energy is pretty good. But I will try them all because, you know, we have to be the embodiment of what it is that we are sharing. Okay. The other piece was about sensitivity to wheat and sugar, okay? How the wheat and sugar drains energy and yet the craving for them is still there, okay? That's linked into the spleen. So once we hit 40, our digestive system does become weaker with age, okay? It's just a natural phenomenon that happens. It's nothing to do with hormones, it's to do with your chi. Okay, it's to do with the chi that you've got available to digest your food, okay? And by strengthening your chi, you strengthen the digestive system. And again, you know, through strengthening on the energetic level, we can age backwards. Okay, think of a candle. The wax body of the candle is the physical. The flame on top is the chi. And the glow off the candle is your spirit. So we're interested in making the flame bigger. That's what my work is all about. It's about making your flame bigger. And the bigger the flame, the brighter the glow. Okay? So you can do all these things on the physical level, but they don't touch the flame. So you can be doing all the right things from masculine energy and not having a change. Not having a change in your energy. Not experiencing long-term results from all your efforts. If we're focused purely on the physical, okay? So if we focus on the flame, making that flame bigger, we're working more on the chi level, we're working more on your energy, we can strengthen your organs and we can actually reverse age your body as well, all right? So you then get to have a younger, more vital body, but you still get to keep the wisdom from the lived life experience and, you know, the wise woman phase that's ahead of you with a younger body, okay? How does that sound? Because that's how it really truly works. Okay, so we need to strengthen the spleen and the digestive system in that case. So we strengthen the chi of the spleen. And also, when we crave the sugary foods, we go for naturally occurring sugars, okay? So it's the same thing as like the salt for the kidneys. There are certain foods that strengthen the spleen. They're generally orange foods, okay, and they're naturally occurring sugars like carrots, sweet potatoes, and various others. So we want to avoid damp and phlegm forming foods because they will weaken the digestion even more and make us appear to be putting on weight when actually it's dampness and phlegm that we're accumulating. So when we strengthen the spleen, we strengthen the cells. Cells push out all the excess dampness, and then we're more efficient in our energy transformation and transportation. So when we eat, we're actually absorbing all the nutrients from our food. So we're getting more energy from the food we're eating, okay? Because once you hit 40, you could have the best diet on the planet, but if your digestive system's weakening, you won't be absorbing all the nutrients anyway, okay? So we work on the chi level, strengthen the chi of the spleen, and then eat the foods with the naturally occurring sugars, because the reason that you're craving the sugar and the wheat that's actually making the spleen worse is because sweet is the flavour that actually heals the spleen. So the spleen will always crave sweet to balance itself, but if we give it the wrong sweet, it'll make it worse. And if we give it the right sweet, then it will heal it. Okay, so carrots, sweet potatoes, naturally occurring sweeter foods, root vegetables always. Okay, orange foods, start there, and we'll continue this in the next video. Okay guys, I think that's enough for today, and I really love coming on and sharing this and doing these videos with you guys. If you've got any questions, do drop them in the comments, and then I do encourage and invite you to leave lots of comments so that I can do more videos in the future which respond to your particular comments. All right guys, I love you, and I'll speak to you again very soon. I'll pop the link for the link tree now in the comments. Have an amazing day.